know it when you hear it. It's Coltrane. It's really relentless forward motion. He's playing freely, but still really to the point, hitting all those chords. So Coltrane, he didn't just play the notes. He really played an entire world of sound and invented all these new concepts. And one of the very strong structures Coltrane worked with a lot was the pattern, the cell, the 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern. This week I want to show you how we can get into the 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern, or the 1, 2, 3, 5 structure, the 4-note cell. We start simple, just playing up and down this pattern, and then we take it very much further. Not just playing it up and down the scales, but really reshaping the pattern, and we'll go into upper structures, and we'll even play outside stuff with the 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern. And no, of course, we do not need to play giant steps in tempo 300 to learn this. Let's break it down and then build it up. Well, this pattern is really simple. It's 1, 2, 3, 5 in a major scale. The tones on this C major chord is C, D, E, and G. And this is what I mentioned a couple of times now, the Coltrane 4-note cell, or the Coltrane pattern. And this is really one of the most compact and most versatile forms we can use in our solo playing. What I really like about this pattern is that it's so simple. It's 4 notes. But what makes it so special is that it really outlines the chord, root, the second, the third, and the fifth. And instantly you hear this very clear harmony, so it's really spelling out the chords. You see in these small 2-5-1 lines that I can easily add the pattern on the root to the chord, and it's really easy to move around the keys because it's basically playing up and down these 1, 2, 3, 5 patterns. What we need with this pattern when we have to play it in our music is freedom. We need to learn it by heart, so a good thing is really practicing it up and down the scale. One of the important things when you are playing this pattern up and down the scales, think the chord you are playing the pattern over. Another really nice feature I like about this pattern is the 1, 2, 3, 5. You get this little scale bit 1, 2, 3, and this makes this little pattern very melodic. Not only outlining the chord, but also a small melody. Now let's add this pattern into some chords and get some 2-5-1 licks going on. In this lick you really hear that it fits the chords going up, but the 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern is not only the 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern, it's also the 5, 3, 2, 1 pattern. So play downwards too. Exactly the same thing we do with arpeggios, play them up, play them down. And in this way you get much more material you can play. Remember that when you want any pattern into your playing, you need to practice in your fingers, your mind, and get it into your ears. Add it to your practice routine. When you have it in your routine, you get much more used to the pattern, and it kind of comes automatically when you want to play it in your lines. But just playing the pattern down is not the most interesting thing. To be more flexible, be creative. Start adding both the patterns, both the up pattern and the down pattern into your lines, and see how much this changes your lines. So when you are adding both the patterns, the up pattern and the down pattern, you get much more time and much more focus on the target notes. So when you are focusing on your target notes, playing into the target notes, you get more flow in your lines. Of course, I've added all the exercise, all the lines, all the phrases into the lesson manual on Patreon. I would recommend you to download the lesson manual from Patreon and follow the lesson directly with the lesson manual on your side, because it makes the learning much faster and much more thorough. This enables you to stop when you need to and look at the material, zoom in on the material, and get much more out of this lesson, and really play through in your own pace. So everything is in the lesson manual PDF. The Patreon lesson manual download link is in the description. And now, this is where it gets much more exciting. We're adding more possibilities to the 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern. Why don't we start using the 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern as an upper structure? For example, over the D minor 7 chord, you play the 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern, the D, E, F, and A. But you can also add the upper structure pattern, the F, G, A, C. This is the pattern from the third of that D minor. It's still totally the normal 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern, but from the third, and it gives you a completely new flavor to the D minor chord. And the really nice part about this, when you're rerouting these patterns, sound, but you already practice the patterns in the scale, so you have them ready to go in your fingers, mind, and ears. Stay tuned, we'll take this even further later in the video. In this small 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern exercise, you can see how I interpret the upper structures on each chord. I basically play all the patterns from the third of the chord, but I'm playing them down 5, 3, 2, 1. Twist it, reshape it, and suddenly you get completely new sounds with only these 4 notes. In this line you see that I mix both the 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern and the 5, 3, 2, 1 pattern. And the third thing is that I mix up the 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern. In the second half of the D minor I play G, F, A, C. So this is the F 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern, but with a 2, 1, 3, 5. And at the end on the C major, the pattern is 5, 1, 2, 3. So I start them differently, I mix them up to get different sounds. Early we just flip the pattern, but when you're mixing up the order of the tones, you get so many more patterns, and there are really many. The rule is that you can basically start on any tone you want in the pattern, as long as you fit it into the line and it sounds musical. So when you're playing a line like this, there's so much variety. So for me to choose another shape than the 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern, I'm really thinking about the target notes I want to hit. I'm thinking about the upcoming line, and then I'm choosing my pattern, see how I can move into the next target note of the next pattern. So I'm literally aiming for the target note I have in mind, and then I'm shaping the pattern. In the beginning, constructing these lines is a slow process, because I'm aiming for the target note, so I'm thinking the target note, and then I'm choosing the pattern very slowly. A great way to get these new shapes into your fingers is just playing them up and down the scale, but do it in your mind, do it in your fingers, do not write it down. You need the material ready in your head anyway, so if you start writing them down, you are dependent on that paper. If it's not in your fingers, your mind and your ears, you cannot use it when you're playing real music, and you're too late. I promised you a last trick, and this is one of Coltrane's favorites. On that G7 bar you hear that I'm playing something else. I'm playing a D flat 7 chord, the tritone substituted dominant. This is basically spelling out that D flat 7, the 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern on the D flat 7 chord. And this tritone substituted dominant I can superimpose on the G7 whenever I want. You can take any of these Coltrane cells and superimpose them over other chords, because they are so clear and so powerful, they really work well like this. So there's much more on this in the lesson manual on Patreon. We are already stretching the boundaries of this pattern a lot, but it still sounds like the basic pattern, and this is what I really like about it. It's still 1, 2, 3, 5. And this is one of the magic things about it. It still sounds like Coltrane, one of his original patterns. The pattern is small enough to control because it's only the 1, 2, 3, 5, but it's also big enough to take you to the upper structures and take you to the altered chords, everything out there. And really this is why the Coltrane 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern is so powerful. You can practice it very simple. You can add it really easily into your playing, and you can stretch it to wherever you want. If you want to dig deeper, I've written out all the exercise, all the licks and all the phrases into the lesson manual. And there you'll find the transpositions into all keys, a lot of variations and a ton of bonus ideas I really did not have any time to add into this video. Download the full lesson manual PDF on Patreon, the link is in the description. And remember, it's not just only about Coltrane, it's really about you having a tool that you can use in your solos. If you want to check out more on Coltrane, more on his sound, I really recommend you to check out this video. Break it, flip it, make it yours. See you next time. Play music. Have fun.